Welcome, everybody, to the Frontiers Research and Discovery Grand Rounds, the February 27th edition. This series is one of many of the resources provided by Frontiers, so if you have not already done so, please go ahead and register to be a member. The slide is on the website here or the screen. It's frontiersctsi.org. So definitely go ahead and register, become a member, and you'll get access to a multitude of resources and services from Frontiers, including the Research and Discovery Grand Rounds. Today, I am very excited for today's presentation. It's from Clinical Trials Transformation Initiative, or CTTI. They'll be talking about the quality by design methodology. This methodology, I know from KUMC, we've partnered with CTTI in the background to support some of our clinical research quality assurance and our investigator-initiated trial design efforts. So super excited to learn more from Kelly Franzetti. She's the senior project manager at CTTI, and she manages and develops the implementation of many CTTI projects, including quality by design. So with that, welcome, Kelly. Thank you so much for your time. I'll go ahead and let you take over the screen. Oh, one last housekeeping, I apologize. If we could just go ahead and hold questions to the end. If you want to throw them in the chat, feel free, and we can curate those at the end and make sure everything is addressed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate the warm welcome. And I'm really excited to speak to you all about the Clinical Trial Transformation Initiative's Quality by Design. So today I'll give a brief introduction to the Clinical Trials Transformation Initiative. We'll then discuss the Quality by Design and its connection to you all. I'll outline some resources and take a look at the future of quality by design. The Clinical Trials Transformation Initiative, also known as CITI, has a mission to develop and drive adoption of practices that will increase the quality and efficiency of clinical trials. We are a public-private partnership co-founded by the FDA and Duke University, and our goal really is to be evidence-based, impactful, and inclusive. CITI has a major goal, one that we've been working toward for a few years, and it's for transforming all clinical trials by the year 2030. We really want them to be patient-centered and easily accessible, fully integrated into health processes, designed with a quality approach, have them maximally leverage all available data, and improve population health. Today, we are going to focus on that middle pillar, though, the one that's designed with a quality approach. So what are we doing at CITI to accomplish this 2030 vision? We provide leadership across the clinical trials enterprise through vision setting, collaborating, convening, and measurement. We work to produce evidence-supported consensus, recommendations, and tools to improve quality and efficiency of clinical trials. And we also drive innovation through strategic communication and engagement efforts that support organizational and overall system transformation. CITI is comprised of partners across the clinical trials enterprise, with everyone having an equal seat at the table. And CITI maintains a very diverse group of members across all of these partner groups. When we look at CITI's portfolio, CITI focuses its work on 6 critical areas of clinical trials. These are areas that represent the biggest challenges and opportunities for improvement. Patient engagement is also a core consideration when running across all recommendations. We seek to align our projects with the pillars of the previously discussed Transforming Trials 2030 vision. Citi really offers a wide array of products based off of our evidence-driven projects, and they range from recommendations and tools to case studies and webinars. So with that, we'll jump into our introduction to QBD. QBD is one way to make trials fit for purpose. It is a method to create trials that allocate resources to minimize errors that impact decision-making. Quality by Design really teaches us to include only the essentials in trial design, thus ensuring the safety of trial participants and the credibility of key study results. Here we really want to eliminate non-essential activities in order to simplify conduct, improve trial efficacy, and target resources to the most critical areas. Quality by Design asks us to gain a deep understanding of the processes involved in medical product development and manufacturing. It also asks us to determine the key attributes that impact product quality, and these are our critical to quality attributes. It asks us to identify risks early and develop mitigation strategies, to create robust processes, to focus on continuous improvement through ongoing monitoring, and finally, to make data-driven decisions. What is quality in clinical trials? Here we define quality as the absence of errors that matter to decision-making. These are errors which have meaningful impact on the safety of the trial participants and future patients or credibility of the overall results. Below, you can see an example for a cardiovascular major morbidity outcomes trial. Something that is a CTQ, a critical to quality factor. Strategies to ensure the survival status of all trial participants is captured. Whereas a not critical to quality factor is a source verifying participants' temperature readings obtained as part of vital sign assessments at routine study visits. Why should an organization implement QBD? Overall, it enhances quality. It ensures quality is built into the product from the start, leading to more consistent and higher quality products. Risk management. QBD helps us to identify and mitigate risks early on. This reduces defects, amendments, deviations, and costly recalls. For regulatory compliance, QBD aligns with FDA and ICH guidelines, which ultimately streamlines approvals and reduces regulatory challenges. Cost efficiency. It can improve efficiency, reduces wasted time, and saving on cost. It offers us methods for continuous improvement, which is supported by ongoing processes for monitoring and improvement. Overall customer satisfaction. QBD helps us to deliver reliable products, building customer trust and loyalty. Quality by Design has been heavily integrated into regulatory guidance by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. A few of the guidance documents of particular interest are the FDA's Q8R2, ICH E8, and ICH E6R3, in which they outline QBD principles for drug development and manufacturing. The FDA also promotes QBD in clinical studies to improve efficiency, data integrity, and participant protection. For risk-based monitoring, QBD combined with RBM enhances clinical data quality and reliability. For regulatory flexibility, QBD offers flexible approaches to meet regulatory requirements, and again, as we mentioned before, streamline approvals. The objectives of Quality by Design are simple, and they can be applied across businesses, types, and functions. We want to transform the culture. We want to involve a broad range of partners, focus effort on essential activities, and identify critical to quality factors. The culture of quality by design, we really want to create a culture that values and rewards critical thinking and open dialogue about quality. We want people to be free thinkers and present problems when they find them. This goes beyond sole reliance on tools and checklists. It considers and involves all partner groups. So that lends a hat to everyone to wear to feel that they are in charge of their area, right? Investigators, patients, clinicians. We want to support identification and periodic review of critical to quality factors and focus our efforts on activities that are essential to the credibility of the study outcomes. It's critical to involve a broad range of partners. We want to include all applicable partners in protocol development and discussions around study quality from very early on. We want sites involved, we want patients involved, we want any technological groups involved, as many hands as we can to speak to their areas of expertise. All studies, especially those with novel study features, can benefit from early engagement with regulators as well. This goes on to include IRBs as well. So we want to engage the broad range of partners as early as possible in study design to aid in identifying our critical to quality factors for QBD. We want to have hyper focus on essential study activities. We want to evaluate study design with our partners to verify that planned activities and data collection are all essential. Streamlining the trial design wherever we can and consider eliminating non-essential activities. Deploy resources to control errors that matter surrounding activities, those CTQs. Thus ensure the safety of trial participants and the credibility of key study results. The way this can be explained pictorially would be when we think of a Christmas tree and everybody wants to hang their Christmas ball or their Christmas ornament on it. We get to a point where the tree will start to bend to one side or another because it can't handle anymore. And that's really how we have to think of a study. It needs to be in balance. We cannot answer every scientific question within reason in one study. And QBD helps us to identify which ones we can put on that Christmas tree, which balls we can attach. So let's look at a step-by-step example using a clinical trial. First, we want to identify and determine the critical to quality factors within the trial. We really want to scour the protocol design. We want to have all of those KOLs, all of those collaborative partners that will be involved in the trial throughout at the same table, having the same conversation about the same protocol. For critical to quality factors, we want you to consider what aspects are crucial for reliable data and participant protection. How do trial design and objectives influence these factors? And what strategies will effectively support quality in these areas? We want to take a proposed critical to quality factor and ask ourselves, can the primary study objective still be achieved? If yes, will the safety of the trial participants be protected? If yes, again, it's not a critical to quality factor. So we can start the same exercise again and ask ourselves, can the primary study objective still be achieved? If no, is there a uniquely important consideration for this study? If yes, then we know for sure it is a critical to quality factor. For step 2, we want to discuss potential risks related to each CTQ. It is critical to have input across all collaborative partners and KOLs for a better understanding of the data and processes behind a successful trial. These folks have a deep understanding of specific aspects in the trial and can therefore better identify and manage risks and improve overall quality and outcomes. Step 3, we move to mitigation. We want to mitigate risks likely to cause significant errors and establish rapid identification and response strategies for issues. How do we mitigate risks? For each identified CTQ, we want to identify risks that matter. Then we identify mitigation strategies for key risks by reviewing past studies and brainstorming new approaches. Mitigations really can be at any level of trial design, oversight, or even during execution. We want to discuss risk management for the CTQs during the study and periodically review, and if it is appropriate, update the CTQs, risks, and their mitigation strategies. We then this one's very important. We want to capture lessons learned for future trials. We don't want to lose sight of these errors and CTQs that we've identified because we can use those in the future to help us with latter studies. CITY's QBD principal document works through numerous protocol sections and aids the reader in identifying potential CTQ factors, such as the one we're looking at here on randomization. So when we're thinking about randomization as a factor, we want to look at potential considerations in evaluating importance of this factor. Is the study randomized? If the study is randomized, consider who will generate and implement the randomization scheme. What is the method by which randomization will occur? Are there any specific approvals needed to randomize a trial participant? Who is permitted to randomize trial participants? How and by whom will randomization errors be managed? And the list really goes on. But when we look at those, we would want to focus ourselves in one area and then look at examples of issues to consider in evaluating risk to CTQ factors. A few of those being, are there ways in which sites could predict treatment? Can these be addressed proactively? How will block sites be designed to avoid unmasking? And what controls are necessary and feasible to ensure that randomization occurs as planned? So these are just a few examples of really sitting down and thinking through our processes and where we may run into a roadblock and just developing a strategy to avoid that. Maybe it's just clarifying our protocol, or maybe it's changing the actual randomization. When we consider application of quality by design, we want to look at the overall trial life cycle. And this is important because we don't, as I mentioned before, we don't want to lose sight of things we've already identified because those can help us in the future. So in step 1 of applying this to the entire trial life cycle, we want to engage partners to identify CTQs and important risks, accept or mitigate important risks to CTQs. And as a result, we would then refine the study protocol, build in lessons learned from other trials, and verify with partners that protocol addresses key risks and is operationally feasible. Refine that risk mitigation plan and measure, and really ask ourselves, is this protocol prone to requiring amendment? For step 2, now we're down to trial conduct. We're past the protocol planning phase. We have a final protocol in our lap and we're beginning to execute it. We want to regularly assess and evaluate management of risks to CTQs. We're going to evaluate performance versus plans. Are our CTQs still relevant? Are risks appropriately controlled? Are changes to the protocol or trial oversight necessary to better mitigate risks? In some cases, it may be necessary to amend the protocol if serious design issues are identified based on those CTQs. And step 3, we're going to incorporate learnings into other trials as soon as possible. QBD implementation. Once we are comfortable with the QBD process, we can work toward implementation. And for this, we must plan. Build quality into trials from the beginning, focusing on what matters most. Then we must implement study risk management strategies. Check ourselves, monitor leading indicators of quality in the study, and act. Systematically drive remediation and learning. What are the actual components of QBD implementation? Who and what does it take to accomplish implementation and adoption? It really is the people, the processes, the tools, and the culture. It comes down to those 4 components. QBD needs to be viewed as a mindset, a lens through which of all your work is viewed. It's not a training that you put a check in a box and say, I've finished this. It's a way of asking yourself, does this process work? Do I have any questions about it? Because if I do, others are going to. That means that that item you're reading is going to be interpreted differently by different individuals. And we're going to take a look at quality by design and you all, areas in frontiers where we can have some specific applications of QBD. And for this, we're going to look at Frontier's overall aims. Aim 1 is described as training a diverse workforce. We want to have approaches to stimulate creative, responsive, and impactful clinical and translational research. Your second aim here is to collaborate and engage with underserved and excluded communities. We want to ensure that all research is responsive to their priorities and achieves greater health equity. And then aim 3 is to drive innovative quality and efficient clinical and translational research across the lifespan that harnesses novel informatics, genomics, team science, and implementation methods to enhance delivery of high-quality healthcare in your region. When we focus on aim 1, training a diverse workforce, quality by design emphasizes proactive planning and identifying critical to quality factors early in the trial design process. This approach can really help train a diverse workforce by encouraging multidisciplinary collaboration. Providing structured frameworks. The QBD toolkit includes templates, guidelines, and training materials that can be utilized to educate and train staff across different roles and institutions. Can also do this by promoting innovative thinking. By focusing on what is critical to quality, QBD encourages creative problem solving and responsiveness to emerging challenges in clinical and translational research. Let's look at how QBD can affect aim 2, collaborate and engage with underserved communities. QBD can enhance collaboration and engagement with underserved communities by ensuring relevance and responsiveness. Because our QBD principles ensure that trials are designed with the needs and priorities of underserved communities in mind, making the research more relevant and impactful. So going back to our discussion about including all of our collaborative partners and our KOLs throughout the protocol development process, we're ensuring that our protocol is serving the right communities. We want to reduce participant burden, and this is done by focusing on essential data and minimizing unnecessary procedures. QBD can make participation in clinical trials less burdensome for underserved populations by ensuring we're only hanging the right Christmas balls on that Christmas tree. Building trust through transparency. The structured and transparent approach of QBD can help build trust with community stakeholders, fostering greater collaboration and participation. When it's clear a study has been built for the right community, for the community that you're bringing it to, folks are more likely to want to participate and collaborate. Aim 3, drive innovative quality and efficient research. QBD supports innovative and efficient research in many ways. Harnessing novel methods. QBD encourages the use of advanced informatics, genomics, and team science approaches to enhance trial quality and efficiency. Streamlining those protocols. QBD teaches us to identify and focus on those CTQ factors and mitigate them, streamlining our protocols, making them more cost-effective, reducing complexity, thus improving adherence to timelines. It also teaches us to have continuous improvement. QBD never rests. As I mentioned before, it's a lens through which you're viewing your work. So QBD includes mechanisms for ongoing monitoring and evaluation, ensuring continuous improvement in trial quality and efficiency. Now, when we pivot a little bit and look at your administrative aims and goals, QBD can support here also. By expanding collaborative structures, QBD promotes transparent and collaborative organizational structure, providing investigators with the necessary resources and training. Ensuring continuous improvement. The QBD framework, again, includes tools for continuous monitoring and evaluation. It's so critical in ensuring that we have high-quality research outcomes. So by integrating QBD principles across frontiers, you can enhance the quality, efficiency, and impactfulness of the clinical and translational research efforts. Ultimately, will contribute to better health outcomes and greater health equity. CIDI offers a comprehensive suite of resources for implementing quality by design. These resources are designed to support you at every stage of QBD adoption, from learning the basics to full implementation. Some great areas to start if you're really just sort of getting your feet wet with QBD would be to browse the toolkit. It includes some video resources from some FDA folks and those that work directly with quality by design across the industry. And the Critical to Quality Factors Principle document is really helpful. As I mentioned before, it helps walk through different areas or sections of the protocol and apply some questions and help you sort of break down each section into more manageable pieces. So what's the future of quality by design? And for us at CIDI, we have a lot of new and upcoming QBD initiatives. A few of those are here. These ones are pretty near and dear to my heart as I am developing them. But the Quality by Design quarterly forums, I'm very excited about. We are attempting to collect a group of individuals who have heavy interest in quality by design. They can range from just being brand new beginners to QBD all the way through experts who have adopted these methods within their organization. We want to smash those folks together quarterly and just have them chat through best practices, questions they have, just keeping a pulse on quality by design in the industry. Another one is quality by design training modules. CIDI has partnered with DOCR, the Duke Office of Clinical Research, to develop an initial Introduction to Quality by Design training module. The module will go through a lot of what we've done today, with the inclusion of some key terminology, definitions, and then also ways for you to practice and apply your knowledge within the training module. And quality by design workshops, these are something that we've held for years and we continue to do so, but they are targeted and organized around a particular sponsor or organization or university to work through their ideas and quality by design on a protocol of their choosing. So I will stop here, Jamie, and loop you back in for questions from the group.
No, thank you very much. I'll open it up for questions if anybody has anything specifically. While we're waiting for those to come in, I did have one question. it looks like a lot of the tools are set up for kind of study by study analysis, running through those factors, kind of checking and balancing against your study. Can you, or have you seen any successes, or can you provide any examples of where these tools are implemented across an institution or an organization like Frontiers, or any tips or tricks as far as kind of adding it to templates or rubrics or methodology and assessments?
Would say for university setting and the area where you're requesting, the best way to do so is really not by incorporating checklists, but by bringing people together. So when you have a question or an area where you feel that you could utilize QBD, you want to bring together anyone who touches that area and you want to talk it through. And that's really the basis of QBD, is hearing the voices of all those involved to help sort of walk through any processes that you have and find those areas of confusion or that could potentially provide misstep.
No, that's great. Thank you. Any questions for Kelly?
And if not, that's absolutely okay. If anything comes up, please feel free to get a hold of me through Citi. You can go through X or LinkedIn or go through our website. We have an area for submitting questions and areas of interest, and we'll reach back out and connect with you.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're excited to partner with you further.